here. Good morning all. So we will start with curvilinear motion today, right? What is curvilinear motion? Can anyone tell me? What do you understand by the term curvilinear motion? Projectile में the particle moves how? It is not audible. A particle can move in a straight line or it can move in a curved path, right? So curvilinear motion means a particle is said to be possessing a curved motion or curvilinear motion, especially when it is traversing a curved path, right? This is called as a curvilinear motion. This is linear, straight line, right? It is going in a straight line, linear motion. So whenever a particle is going to traverse a curved path, that motion is called as curvilinear motion. So when we were studying about equations of motions, v equal to u plus at, v square minus u square equal to 2gs, or s equal to ut plus half at square. So all these are applicable to your, see, you see the examples also. Two cars moving forward, right? Or when it comes to gravity or the motion under gravity, the stone is dropping down. So it is still traveling in a straight line. Or when you drop a stone, you throw a stone on top, it is still having a linear, that is straight line. So now the same equations of motions, I have to convert them to calculate the parameters related to curvilinear. I hope you agree that a straight line is totally different from a curved line. That is why there should be modifications coming into these equations to apply them for curvilinear motion and to find the various velocities and all. Okay. So some of the terminologies that we use here are: first one, angular displacement. Now tell me, what was displacement in regular equations of motion? What do you understand by the term displacement? You can put it in the chat box if you're not able to unmute.
Change in position.
Change in position is displacement, right? So when a person from position A, he moved to position B, we said that this was the distance he traveled, or this is a particular displacement. Now when I'm telling angular displacement, that is going to come under the curvilinear motion, meaning now when I have a curved path, right? A person moves from this position to this position. So this is a curved path. So I cannot measure this curve, and if I measure it along the curve also, I will get it in a linear measurements only. So we will try to find the angle between these two, and that becomes your angular displacement. That's why term angular. Okay, it is moving from some position to the other position with respect to a same center point, right? So this is your angular displacement. How do I define it? It is the total, or it is a total angle traced by the particle. Total angle traced by the particle with respect to its original position. Okay. So angular displacement is when I'm telling you that it is moving from this point to this point. So there is some angle that is going to be formed. It is moving by some angle theta. So that is your angular displacement. So this angular displacement is going to be denoted by theta. Tell me, what was displacement denoted by in regular equations of motion?
S.
S. So your theta is S now, right? In those equations, if I remember, or we will just write that there it was S, here it is theta for our convenience. Okay, let's just be here only. Then second, we have something called as angular velocity. Okay, Angular velocity is the rate of change of velocity or rate of change of angular displacement with respect to time. Okay. So rate of change of angular displacement with respect to time. Same definition, no? Rate of change of displacement with respect to time only. There also it is. Here I'll use instead of the term only displacement, I will use it with respect to angular displacement. Right? So this is angular velocity is rate of change of angular displacement with respect to time. Okay, so it is expressed as omega. The angular velocity is going to be expressed as omega and radians per second because we are dealing with all what now circular. The moment I said I'm taking theta into consideration, it is moving from A to B and theta. So I understand that it is going to be a circular path. So the units would be something related to the angles and time. So radians per second. So radians, you know how to convert a degree into radian and radian into degree. If not, also when doing numericals, we'll do this. Okay. So angular velocity. So angular velocity, the omega is given by theta by t, formula wise. If I want to write, it is rate of change of angular displacement with respect to time. That's why it is written as theta by t. Now, in our regular equations of motion, what is your angular displacement denoted as? Sorry, angular velocity denoted as a regular velocity, right? So we had in regular equations of motion, we had an initial velocity v and we had a final velocity u. So here, these two are going to be omega naught and omega. Okay, what are omega naught and omega? So your initial velocity would be written as omega naught and your final velocity would be written as omega. Okay, those are your angular velocity. These are also velocities. These are also velocities, right? So this is about your angular velocity. And then we have third, uh, no, third definition is not there. Next, there is a relationship. Okay, so the relationship, if I want to convert the linear parameters to angular parameters, okay, so relationship or relation between angular velocity omega and linear velocity v. Say, so what is the conversion is v is equal to omega into r, where r is your radius. Okay, r is your radius. So the moment when I'm telling that it is all related to curved path, this is the theta, that is angular displacement. These are the initial and final positions. It is moving with the velocity of omega radians per second. There is a radius coming into picture. Correct? Agree? There is a radius which is related to all of them. So if they give you a numerical sometime, wherein they mention all in linear velocity, linear displacement s, etc., and they ask you to find the values or parameters in terms of curvilinear motion or angular velocity and angular displacement, then the relationship while finding or while converting, I will be making use of the radius r that is coming into picture. So linear velocity is going to be equal to angular velocity multiplied by the radius of that particular in that particular numerical. Okay, so that is about your angular velocity and linear velocity conversion. So just you have to multiply by the radius r you will get in terms of linear velocity. Okay. Then we have something called as angular acceleration. I need all the same parameters. There, see, we have v, u, s, t, and a. So the same things I need even in curvilinear motion. So we are done with this. We are done with this. Time will remain same. Time will not change, and acceleration is remaining now. So acceleration, when we are calculating, it is the rate of change of angular velocity in terms of radians per second. Okay, with respect to time. So alpha, if I want to write, it is d omega by dt. Correct, rate of change of your velocity with respect to time is the angular acceleration. So I can also write this as omega into d omega divided by d theta. Okay, there are two formulas wherein your angular acceleration is rate of change of angular velocity with respect to time, and velocity is what? Angular velocity. It is rate of change of uh, the displacement, right? So displacement, if I'm taking into picture, I'll multiply and divide by d theta. That time I get this equation. So you can always have alpha equal to omega into d omega by d theta. So when we are doing numericals, it will be more promising. You'll be able to remember also things. And similarly, if I want acceleration and alpha conversions, so what is the formula? Our linear velocity is going to be angular velocity into radius. If I want to convert, right? Linear velocity is equal to angular velocity into the r, that is the radius. So this is the equation for that. Now, if I want to write all the equations, now looking into this in the picture, A is written as alpha in terms of curvilinear motion. So our general equations is what? B equal to u plus at, b square minus u square equal to 2as, and s equal to ut plus half gt square. These are our equations of motion when it comes to linear motion. Okay, these all are belonging to your linear motions. So when I say we need with respect to curvilinear or motion or curved motion, now what is v here? It is omega equal to u is what? Omega naught plus a is what? Alpha. T is same. So this equation now changes to omega equal to omega naught plus alpha t, simply because I know the terms and they're same. In this only, if they ask you to direct conversion, if you want from here you want to go back to v, then this into r will give you v. Alpha into radius will give you a. That is the acceleration. Second equation is going to be omega square minus omega naught square is equal to 2 times of alpha into s. What is your s? It is theta. Correct? And then you have s, that is theta equal to ut. U is omega naught t plus half g t square. Okay. So this will have g is acceleration due to gravity. There you can use or a t square. No? This is here I wrote g by mistake. A is alpha. So half alpha t square. These equations are nothing but they are replica of this, and only the terminologies are changing. And then you know the conversion. If you want velocity, linear velocity, it is angular velocity into the radius. If you want linear acceleration, it is your angular acceleration. What is your angular acceleration given by alpha into r? Right? So these are your conversion factors if you need any time conversion. And we will be using this equation instead of these equations, same type of numericals. But only thing here, it is all curved part. So we have to talk more in terms of radians and all. Okay. Any doubts still here? Any doubts here? You can put it into the chat box. Okay. No reply? No doubt. Now, when I say it is all related to curved and curvilinear motion, so see, if I give you a wheel, okay? All of you are aware of wheels, something like this. And I will start rolling this wheel from this point A, okay? It will roll till point B, say, and then I want you to get this distance. I can measure it also. But if I am asking you with respect to the wheel, then I will have to note some things. Some things like what? What is the radius of this wheel? Right? Then how many number of revolutions it is taking or number of rotations it is making to reach this point. Remember such examples we have done. So if it is doing 2 rotations, I know the circumference and based on that I will be able to calculate the distance. Right? Or if it is taking 2.5 rotation, then half angle, that is 360 divided by 2, 180 comes into picture. So all these things are related to what? Your circular motion. So we need to know some of the parameters related to that, that is number of revolutions or how many number of rotations took place, right? So there is a relationship for this also, or a formula that you must have used already, but still. So it is the heading is relationship between relationship between n, okay, that is number of rotations per minute, n in rpm, rotations per minute. N stands for the total number of revolutions or rotation, and your angular velocity omega. I need a relationship between the total number of revolutions and the velocity. Okay, because in numericals we have such kind of numerical. So there is a small derivation kinds without which you won't understand. Say let n, okay, this n, let n be the total number of revolutions or rotation. I'll write revolution. Okay, let n be the number of revolutions per minute, because I need time. When I'm talking of velocity, it is meters per second with respect to time. No, so let n also be the number of revolutions per minute. Okay, then tell me the angle covered by the body. Okay, in 1 second. In 1 second, how much is going to be the rotation? Angle covered by the body in 1 second. So if the circle or the wheel is rotating in 1 second, how much from here to here it rotated? Say, right, in 1 second. So what is going to be the angle? Here somewhere is the angle. So the angle covered by the body in 1 second is going to be equal to the angle covered in one revolution, okay, into the total number of revolutions in 1 second. This is your condition. The angle covered by the body in 1 second is nothing but the angle covered in one revolution into the number of revolutions in 1 second. So if I want to substitute for this, or in the right hand side, angle covered in one revolution. So total one full circle ko how much angle will be there? One full revolution mein how much angle will be there?
360.
360. So I will write it in terms of 2 pi, right? So angle covered in one revolution is 2 pi, 360, 2 into 180, right? Number of revolutions in 1 second means my n is per minute. So per second matlab n divided by 60. So I will get here 2 pi n by 60. Okay, so the angle covered by the body in 1 second is going to be equal to 2 pi n by 60. The formula. Clear? So now this is nothing but your omega. So therefore, the angle which is covered per second is nothing but omega, which is given by 2 pi n by 60. If I want to calculate omega and when the number of revolutions are given to us, then we will be using this equation, 2 pi n by 60. Clear? You must have used this equation. This is coming from this basics of one rotation and one revolution funda. Okay. So one is that is the relationship between omega and n, that is the number of revolutions. Then in linear speed, if I'm talking of, that is your linear parameters, v is equal to omega into r. We are aware of, right? That is, we know the relationship between the linear and the angular. So now I can write v as 2 pi n by 60 into r. Correct? So 2 times of r is nothing but radians. Sorry, 2 times of r is what? 2 into r is going to be what? Your diameter. Agree? 2 times of radius is going to be one big dia of the particular circle. Right? So I will write it as pi 2 times of r is d n by 60. So your velocity can be written as pi d n by 60. This is your linear velocity, whereas your angular velocity is 2 pi r or 2 pi n by 60. So these two equations. Pi d n by 60 is linear velocity. 2 pi n by 60 is your angular velocity. Okay, keep that in mind. So we will be making use of these equations, only these simple ones only. So based on this, let us take one or two examples today. So say the first example, a body is rotating. You want me to write? A body is rotating. A body is rotating with angular velocity of 6 radians per second. Okay, a body is rotating with angular velocity of 6 radians per second. After 5 seconds, okay, the angular velocity, AB is angular velocity. Okay, I am writing it like that. After 5 seconds, the angular velocity of the body changes to 15 radians per second. Right? Determine the angular acceleration of the body. Clear? The question is simple. This is a very simple example I've taken, first one. So tell me what are the details that are given. A body is rotating with the angular velocity of 6 radians per second, and after time t equal to 5 seconds, it is changing to 15 radians per second. So tell me what is the 6 radians per second? What velocity?
Omega.
Omega, but which omega? Angular velocity means it is omega only, omega naught or omega only. Correct? So which omega? It is omega naught or omega? There is one more here.
Omega naught.
Yes. So try to link these examples to your linear equations of motions. Okay. So all the data that is going to be given over here is something like B, U, T, A, etc. only. Only extra, it is extra, not change. The extra thing that would be the number of revolutions that is coming in curvilinear motions. Clear? So now I need V, U. V and U are something like an initial and final velocity. So with respect to velocity in angular velocity, we have radians per second. So one is 6 radians per second, one is 15 radians per second. So he says it is rotating with a velocity of 16, and after some time it is changing to 15, which indicates that your omega naught, that is initial velocity, is 6 radians per second, and your final omega is 15 radians per second. Okay, then time is also given to us, that is 5 seconds. In time t equal to 5 seconds, they've asked us to calculate the acceleration, which is alpha. So this is what I'm not supposed to write like this, but then for your understanding I'm writing. They've given you u, they've given you v, they've given you t, they're asking you to find acceleration a. What equation are you going to use in terms of linear? Tell me.
V is equals to U plus 80.
B equal to u plus at will get me the value of a. Same equation I'll write here. Omega equal to omega naught plus alpha t. No change. Okay? No change. But understand that this is always in linear, this is going to be in rotation. So now I have the data. Omega is 15 is equal to omega naught is 6 plus alpha into 5. Right? So get the value of alpha. 15 minus 6 divided by 5.
1.8.
So 1.8. Can you tell me what is the units for alpha? For acceleration, it was meters per second square. Now, the moment I'm talking in terms of angular or curvilinear, meter will not come only into picture. So, what is meter replaced by? If you
Radian.
remember, yeah, meters per second velocity is written as radians per second. Correct? So now this meter per second square would be written as radians per second square. Okay? Just compare and understand. If you compare and understand the concept, then everything you will be able to solve. But if you take it something like a difficult concept, then you will not understand. So simply compare them with your linear velocity or the linear parameters, including your units. You will be able to write. You will be on the right track. Don't worry. Okay, so this is alpha, that is 1.8 radians per second square. This is the most simplest example. They will not give such examples in the examination. This was only for your understanding purpose. Okay, next example. Next example, they will give such examples. Okay, so we have time now. Yeah, a wheel. I will dictate and I'll write the question. There's a wheel. A wheel is rotating. A wheel is rotating about a fixed axis. Okay, a wheel is rotating about a fixed axis at 20 rpm. Okay, 20 rotations per minute, and is uniformly accelerated. Okay, uniformly accelerated for 70 seconds, during which time it makes 50 revolutions. Okay, 50 revolutions. That's it. 50 revolutions. Find first one, angular velocity, that is omega, okay, or omega naught must be angular velocity at end of interval. Fine. Second, the time required. What is the time required for the speed to reach, for omega to reach n equal to 110 rpm? These are the two things. I have written the second part of the question in more of science and parameters. I'll read out again. There is a wheel which is rotating about a fixed axis, so that indicates it's a curvilinear motion at 20 rpm. Okay, and this is uniformly accelerated for 70 seconds, during which time it makes 50 revolutions. Right? Now we have to find the angular velocity. So I've written omega or omega naught, both. At the end of the interval, if they say, then it is omega, not omega naught. End of the interval means final velocity. So omega, okay. So at the end of the interval, second, find the time when your angular velocity is reaching the n equal to 110 rpm. This is the question. Fine. So let us find a solution for this. We have to find these two. So now, what is your 20 rpm? What is this?
Number of revolutions.
Number of revolutions, correct. But here they have given us two revolutions. One is 20, one is 50. Agree? There are two revolutions. So I'll call this N naught because we have two revolutions here. So I will have initial revolution and final revolution. Both are going to be N. So what we will do? We will call initial revolution N naught was equal to 20 rpm. Okay. So based on this, I know that if I can get initial velocity omega naught, that is 2 pi n naught by 60. Omega is 2 pi n by 60. So from n naught I can get omega naught. So substitute 2 pi n naught is 20 divided by 60. What is your omega naught value? Please tell me.
Two point zero nine.
2.09. Yeah. 2.09 radians per second. I'm sorry, okay, because of the rain, I'm not able to hear. You all can type it in the chat box. So we got the initial velocity, angular velocity also from here. Now, since the wheel is rotating for 50 revolutions, initially it started with 20 revolutions, then it is rotating for 50 revolutions, we can also get angular displacement. I know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like this, it is made 50 revolutions. So from here, I will be able to get the displacement, no, how much it has traveled. And this is a linear displacement. I can always get the angular displacement, that is theta. So how do we get that angular displacement? There is a formula. So angular, don't draw this all, okay? Angular displacement is given by the angle traced in one rotation, okay? The angle traced in one rotation into the total number of rotations. Now, I drew this figure, why I'll tell you. I say I want distance from here to here. How you will find? You will know the angle traced in one rotation and you will multiply by how many rotations it has taken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in 1 into the 5 rotations is going to give me the total displacement in terms of angular. Right? So based on that funda, because angular displacement is angle traced in one rotation into the total number of rotations. So angular displacement is denoted by theta is going to be equal to angle traced in one rotation is what? 2 into pi, right? And total number of rotations is given to us in the question is 50. So what is the angular displacement theta now? 100 times pi, that is you keep it as 100 pi only. Don't no need to substitute anything. So theta is 100 times pi. This is the displacement. Okay. So keep it as it is. We will require it again further. So we found the angular displacement. And once we found the angular displacement, now we have to still find the final velocity. That is the omega value. So how to get the omega value? Here we will start with let omega be the angular velocity. Okay, let omega be the angular velocity. And after they have given us no number of seconds. After t equal to 70 seconds, it is going to go reach omega. So omega naught reaches omega in t equal to 70 seconds. This is given. So we'll use s equal to ut plus half at square because I have t, I have a, I have u, and I have s. Right? So in this, if I'm substituting theta, I'll write it in terms of angular or curvilinear. Theta equal to omega naught into t plus half alpha t square. Correct? So substitute here. Theta is 100 pi that we found just now equal to omega naught 2.09 into time was 70 seconds plus half alpha into 70 square. So you get the value of alpha here. Get me the value of alpha, please. Yes, what is the value of alpha? 100 pi minus 70 into 2.09. Then into 2 you do divided by 70 square. You get alpha. Get me the value of alpha. I have the value of alpha as 0.068. Okay. Radians per second square. Are you getting the same?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, 0.068 radians per second square. So that is your What alpha is? Angular acceleration. So now I want to find the final velocity omega. The final velocity omega is 2 pi n by 60. We have the values. 2 pi n is what? Final number of revolutions it happens. What is the final number of revolutions? Can anyone tell me from the question?
$15.
No, no. Initial is 50. It reached what? 110. Final revolution. It started with 50, so omega naught I got with respect to 50. When I'm calculating omega, it will be with respect to n, right? N naught was 50. So here it is 110 divided by 60. What is omega? Final velocity, angular velocity?
11.51.
11.51 radians per second. So we found the final velocity. Now we have to find the time for it to reach this final velocity. Use your simple equation. I'll just erase this only. I want to find the t time now. I know omega value, I know omega naught value, I know alpha value. So go with the simple equation that is omega equal to omega naught plus alpha t. So omega value was 11.5, we just now found. Omega naught was 2.09 and alpha value was 0.068 into t. Get the value of t. How much is t? I have the value 139.05.
138.38.
138, okay. Point something. That's also right. 138 point something. 138.38. Yeah. This is also fine. See. So this ends your numerical. You found the final time, you found the final velocity, you found the angular displacement theta, right? In this question, they had given you, it is a combination of all the parameters. They had given you an initial revolution n naught, they give you a final revolution n. From here only you get omega and omega naught. Okay, they give you initial time and then we have to calculate the various parameters. Use the logic of your linear displacement, linear velocity only. It is on the same lines. Only change would be when we calculated that total number of revolutions, right? To calculate the displacement. So there only little bit change is there and you know that. For one revolution, what is the angle into the number of revolutions will give you the total displacement theta. Okay, so you can put your roll numbers into the chat box and quit the meeting. So curvilinear motion is not there for your internals. Okay, this is not there for your internals. Put your roll numbers into the chat box and you can quit the meeting.